Paul Castellano was born in Bentonhurst, Brooklyn, New York, on June 26, 1915. His parents, Giuseppe and Concetta Castellano, were both Italian immigrants. His father was a butcher and an early member of the Mangano crime family, the forerunner of the Gambino crime family. Castellano dropped out of school in the 8th grade to learn butchering and collecting numbers games receipts, both from his father in July 1934. 19-year-old Castellano was arrested for the first time in Harvard, Connecticut, for robbing a haberdasher. In 1957, after Anastasia's murder and Gambino's elevation to boss, Castellano attended the abortive Appalachian meeting in Appalachian, New York. When New York State Police raided the meeting, Castellano was one of 61 high-ranking mobsters that were arrested. Refusing to answer grand jury questions about the meeting, Castellano spent a year in prison in contempt charges. On January 13, 1960, Castellano was sentenced to 5 years in prison for conspiracy to withhold information. However, in November 1960, Castellano's conviction was reversed on appeal. Castellano identified more as a businessman than a criminal, taking over non-legitimate businesses and converting them to legitimate enterprises. In his early years, Castellano used his butcher's training to launch Dial Poultry, a poultry distribution business that once supplied 300 butchers in New York City. Castellano used intimidation tactics to force his customers, which included supermarket chains, Key Food, and Walbaum's, to buy Dial's products. As Castellano became more powerful in the Gambino family, he started to make large amounts of money from concrete in the construction industry. His son Philip was president of Scaramix Concrete Corporation, which exercised a near monopoly on the concrete supply in Staten Island. Castellano handled Gambino interests in the Concrete Club, a club of contractors selected by the Commission, the mob's ruling body, to handle contracts between $2 million and $15 million. In return, the contractors gave a 2% kickback of the contract value to the Commission. On October 15, 1976, Gambino died at his home of natural causes. Against expectations, he appointed Castellano to succeed him over his underboss. Della Croce, at the time, was imprisoned for tax evasion and was unable to contest Castellano's succession. Castellano arranged for Della Croce to remain as underboss while directly running traditional mob activities such as extortion, robbery, and loan sharking. While Della Croce accepted Castellano's succession, the deal effectively split the Gambino family into two rival factions. In September 1980, Castellano allegedly ordered the murder of his former son-in-law, Frank Amato, for physically abusing his wife, Castellano's daughter, Connie. According to FBI documents, DeMeo murdered Amato, cut up his body, and disposed of the remains at sea. On Monday, December 16, 1985, Bellotti drove Castellano to the prearranged early evening meeting at Sparks Steakhouse. A hit team consisting of Salvatore Scala, Edward Lino, and John Carneglia waited near the restaurant entrance. Positioned down the streets were backup shooters Ruggiero, Dominic Pizzonia, and Tony Rampino. Gotti and Gravano observed the scene from a car across the street. As Castellano was exiting the car at the front of the restaurant at around 5:26 p.m., the gunman ran up and shot him several times. Allegedly, Carneglia delivered the fatal shot to Castellano's head. Bellotti was shot as he exited the front driver's door. Before leaving the murder scene, Gotti drove over to view the bodies. Castellano was buried in the Moravian Cemetery in New York.